From drag brunches in Galway to sea views in Wexford, we're rating the top 5 towns for LGBTQ retirees based on the cost of living, community, and those oh so important queer perks. So, Fáilte, or welcome to Ireland. We are continuing our global trotting search for fabulous, affordable retirement destinations, and we're touching down in the Emerald Isle.
So cool. This is Queer Money episode number 602. So grab your Guinness and let's get started.
So welcome back to the Gay Cities International Retirement Series. This week we are looking at Ireland, a country where the butter is rich, but the people are richer in charm. So we're going to get the tea on where your pot of gold can stretch the furthest without skimping on community or crack. No, it's not what you think. It's Gaelic slang for what's happening.
What's happening? So 2 weeks ago, we covered the wonderful and beautiful country of New Zealand. Definitely check out the comments in YouTube. They're pretty awesome. They'll provide you more information than maybe what we were able to provide you. But then also share your experiences if you've been into New Zealand, whether you lived there for a period of time or you were just there for a couple of days. Definitely share what you liked, what you didn't like, what worked, where you went, all that stuff. Because the more information we have, the more information we have to be able to make better decisions about where we can all retire. In 2 weeks from now, we are going to cover, per special request from one of our viewers, the beautiful country archipelago,
Yeah,
right?
I think it's 3 islands.
Of Malta. Actually, the Malta LGBTQ plus Chamber of Commerce has reached out to us several times over our career about possibly doing something. I feel like that doing something should be them flying us to Malta for a week. But of course, this week we're covering the wonderful country of Ireland, where David and I have both been to. We actually went for the first leg of our honeymoon after we got married. So definitely comment what we get right, what we get wrong, and what your personal experiences of Ireland are. However, all that said, David has a unique relationship with Ireland. David, do you want to share a little bit about that?
Yeah, I've been all over Ireland. As a matter of fact, when I was 12 years old, just after I had finished 6th grade, my family moved to Ireland for about 1 year and 9 months. My dad had been going over there frequently for work, and they eventually decided to move 5 American families over to work at the manufacturing plant that my dad worked at. And we were there for that time period. And like I said, traveled all over Ireland.
You were there for about 1.5 years?
A little over 1.5 years.
Yeah. And David, share with everybody your unique relationship to Bono and the rest of the gang of U2.
Well, it's not necessarily a relationship. The school I went to was a non-Catholic school. It was called Mount Temple, and Mount Temple was the school that 3 of the members of U2 went to. And one day we were sitting in class, and pretty much all of a sudden everybody was at the windows because U2 had shown up. Now we're talking about 1982, 83, 84 time frame. So it was slightly before they had gotten big in the US, but that was my introduction to U2. And we didn't have school for the rest of the day because they couldn't control all the students.
All right, so let's get back to the point at hand. David, what is the number 5 city in Ireland on our Queer Money retirement rating list?
Right, coming at number 5 is Limerick. Now, why is Limerick a great city? Well, it's one of the more affordable places on the list here. It is a thriving university town, and it is easy access to the Shannon Airport, which is the airport that a lot of people used to fly into when they were coming from the United States. Not so much anymore, but it is a international airport. Some of the downsides is there is less queer visibility in Limerick than, say, for example, Galway or Dublin, and it does rain like it's a full-time job. So when it comes to the LGBTQ vibes here, it is low-key but supportive. There is the Limerick Pride events, which interestingly enough includes a swimming pride parade.
Yeah.
And there is also university activism. So there's a lot going on with young people in Limerick. Some of the queer perks are beautiful river walks, music festivals, and a quieter but budget-friendly lifestyle for retirees. The average 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom is going to be going for around $1,870 a month. That's pretty close to what the U.S. average is. Overall cost of living is about 10 to 15% lower than the U.S. average. So for this reason, we're giving Limerick a Queer Money retirement rating of 7.5 out of 10.
Coming in at number 4 is Clonakilty. Clonakilty is a laid-back West Cork coastal gem. Clonakilty is known for its community spirit, live music, foodie culture, which we absolutely love, and its award-winning cleanliness and sustainability. Mm-hmm. I love cleanliness. The downsides are it's a small town, so the queer nightlife is almost not really there. It's pretty limited. You'll need to travel to, say, Cork or Galway for a larger LGBTQ plus scene and events and dedicated venues. So if you're looking for a little bit more affordability that's kind of on the peripheral of the LGBT scene, Clonakilty might be where you go. The LGBTQ plus vibe is quiet, but it is welcoming. While there's not a queer hub, towns like this all across Ireland are very LGBTQ plus friendly, and they value authenticity, local support, and safer and friendly rural environments, which is probably perfect for a lot of retirees. The queer perks are that it does have rustic festivals, you can do beautiful coastal strolls, it has a tight-knit community, even though it may not necessarily be predominated by LGBTQ plus people, but the proximity to Cork's art and queer culture are but a day trip away.
Yeah.
Average two-bedroom rent goes for about $1,600 to $1,800 US a month, so it's slightly lower than Galway and more affordable compared to national norms in Ireland. The overall cost of living is roughly 15 to 20% lower than the US national average, thanks to its modest housing and living expenses. For all these reasons, the Queer Money retirement rating, we're giving it an 8 out of 10. Clonakilty is a serene, cultural, rich choice for retirees who value slow living and community roots, which is kind of something that we're kind of falling into as we are in our early retirement phase.
Yeah. So coming in at number 3 is Wexford. Wexford is, well, what's great about Wexford? Well, first of all, Wexford is just a short train ride south of Dublin. So easy access to Dublin and all that Dublin has to offer. But what's great about the city itself is it's artsy. It is on the coast, so it's charming. And the rent there won't make you weep compared to especially what's going on in Dublin. Some of the downsides, it is a smaller town, so you're going to have a smaller queer scene. It's not great for those who need a bustling gay bar every single weekend. So it is a little bit quieter, which is something that's good for retirees.
But it's not short on bars.
Yeah. No Irish town is. That's often. Every U.S. town has a post office. Every Irish town has a bar. The LGBTQ vibe here, it is low key. It does have a low key Wexford Pride community. There is an active art scene and it's safe and relaxed pace. There is an opera festival. There are sandy beaches, walkable streets, and ferries across to Europe. So it is an easy access to get over to the continent if that's something you want to do. When it comes to the cost of living, the average 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom is going for about $1,750 a month, US dollars, and the overall cost of living is about 15 to 20% lower than the US average. And for all this, we're giving it a Queer Money retirement rating out of 8 out of 10.
So our runner-up is Howth, which is also a suburb of Dublin. It's great because it has stunning sea cliffs, charming harbor town, Dublin-adjacent without the full Dublin price. So again, we're looking for a little bit of affordability over the LGBTQ plus nightlife scene. The downsides are that it's still somewhat pricey, probably because you're so close to Dublin, and it does have its touristy high season. So if that's something that you're averse to, maybe this isn't the place to go to. There's not necessarily a club, an LGBTQ plus scene here, but it's extremely safe and welcoming, and it's easy access, like a 30-minute dart ride, I think, to central Dublin's queer hotspot. So
Yeah.
you're, it's just a hop, skip, and a jump away.
Yeah, and the Dart is basically Dublin's above ground commuter line. So it's the train that will take you quickly into downtown Dublin and all over Dublin.
You can go downtown, get tore up, go back home. The queer perks are that you have beautiful cliff walks, seafood pubs, Dublin city access, rainbow visibility without the rainbow rent, because we know that comes with a premium. Average 2-bedroom rent goes for about $2,580 US dollars a month. So we're getting a little bit more expensive. Overall cost of living is about 5% higher than the US national average. So this may not necessarily be the place you go to save money, but you get an immense amount of LGBTQ plus acceptance and support. For all these reasons, we give it a Queer Money retirement rating of 9 out of 10.
Right. Coming in at number 1 is not one city. It's actually a group of cities. It's the greater Galway Bay region. So this includes towns and cities like Galway, Ennis, and Shannon. There are also a lot of other small towns, much smaller towns in this area. So why is it great? It is the best mix of affordable housing compared to the other places that we've talked about. There's a vibrant queer community, art, nature, and nearby health services. Now, obviously, the closer you are to Galway, Ennis, or Shannon, the more likely you're going to see more of the vibrant queer community, more of the access to healthcare services, things like that. Some of the downsides here is that you're going to trade your 300 sunny days for 300 cozy ones. Your skin will thank you, especially if your skin is almost translucent white like mine. But
Show them your legs.
Yeah, no. So as far as the LGBTQ vibe between Galway's creative scene, Ennis's charm, and Shannon's global access, you get it all. There are a lot of things happening in this area for queer perks. You're going to be doing things like drag brunches, pride festivals, LGBTQ mental health services. And again, Shannon has an international airport. So for those of you who want to travel more in retirement, this could be a great home base for you. Average 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom rent is right around $2,000. Now, we did say this is much more affordable, maybe not as affordable as some other places in Ireland, but with all the services you get, it is much more affordable. The overall cost of living is running at around 10% lower than the U.S. average. And for this reason, we're giving it a Queer Money retirement rating of 9.5 out of 10.
So before you grab your pitchforks or those spiky pride flags, we want to explain why no city or town in Ireland scored a perfect 10 out of 10. Ireland is fabulous, no doubt. It's safe, progressive, has universal health care, and was the first country in the world to legalize same-sex marriage by popular vote. We love that. But here's the deal. While Ireland is incredibly LGBTQ plus supportive, it doesn't yet have the scale or the infrastructure or even the queer culture or nightlife that many LGBTQ plus people are looking for. So if you're looking for more of that kind of a scene, say maybe you want to lean more toward a country like Mexico, Spain, or Portugal. And while some cities are affordable, others, especially Dublin, David said they'll make you cry in your pint of Guinness.
Yeah,
right. So and just for context, we always slightly overweight affordability over LGBTQ plus nightlife, because when you're an early retiree or a retiree altogether, you're definitely looking at every penny, and we want to make sure we're guiding people to a place that's accepting but also affordable.
So why not Dublin or Cork? So it's kind of leans into what John was just saying. Both are LGBTQ friendly and have great gay scenes, but we left Dublin and Cork off the actual cities with central cities of both of those locations. Although they have the vibrant queer scenes, their high cost of living makes them less budget retirement friendly. So we do want to keep that in mind. We did include their suburbs, as in Howth, which is a beautiful place. I lived just over the hill from Howth when I was a kid. It's an amazing place. I would say if you go to Ireland, definitely have to check it out. So we didn't necessarily include the city central, but we did include their suburbs so we could find a few lower cost living places that are close to that nightlife that many of you still want.
So Ireland has the charm, the community, and a surprisingly good cost of living to LGBTQ plus vibe ratio. So whether you're into the cliffs or cafes, arts, or operas, there's a spot for you. Just remember, you might have to deal with some of the rain. So bring a jacket and an umbrella.
And your wellies.
Your wellies, yeah, totally. So which city that we mentioned on this list sounds like your vibe, or which did we actually miss? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to grab your Happy Gay Retirement calculator to start planning your own fabulous retirement abroad. And then for the Queer Money Retirement Rating Card, which we finally just updated after all these months, and to get our scoring criteria, go to queermoneypodcast.com/cities or click the link in the description if you're watching on YouTube or on your podcast player.
And coming up next week, we're going to be talking about why the U.S. economy is still so strong despite Trump's global meltdown. This is something that we've been watching a lot of videos on YouTube about. And 2 weeks from now, we're going to be looking at Malta, as John had previously mentioned. If you love this episode, please like, subscribe, and share it with your friends who also want to travel or, live abroad in retirement. And until next time, stay fabulous. And if you want to retire abroad with a healthy dose of uns, check out this episode of Spain here.